I'm Sean from Voices of Defiance, a podcast member of the Gunna Geek Network, just like the one you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all the other podcasts at GunnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready, because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
You have been granted clearance by Director Phil Coulson. Stand by for S.H.I.E.L.D. debriefing. All information to be discussed here is classified and may only be discussed among agents granted clearance by the S.H.I.E.L.D. Director.
Now it's time for your scheduled debriefing. I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
And I'm Agent Lauren.
Welcome to Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel Comic Universe podcast. This is podcast number 71 on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 19, The Dirty Half Dozen. This podcast is recorded on Wednesday, April 29th, 2015. Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a fan-based podcast on the American Broadcasting Company television show, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's Agent Carter, Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix, and the general Marvel comic universe.
Because of Sokovia.
If you'd like to talk to us about Sokovia, you can find us on our website, legendsofshield.com. You can get a hold of us at our voicemail, 844-THE-BUS-1. That's 844-843-2871. You can find us on our Facebook, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast, Twitter, at Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., Tumblr, legendsofshield.tumblr.com, our YouTube channel, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., and our forums, forums.gunnageek.com, or search Gunna Geek one word on the Tapatalk app.
Today on Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., we're going to be talking about a giveaway. Yes, it's our first giveaway in a while. We're going to talk about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode, The Dirty Half Dozen. We also have clips from Karen Gillan's Planet ComicCon panel. We're going to talk about your weekly Marvel news, as we always do, and your feedback. So first things first, we have a giveaway, don't we, Haley?
Yes, we do.
And it's pretty cool, isn't it, Lauren?
I am jealous as hell of whoever wins this, yes.
Yes.
I've already decided that I'm the winner, so sorry, guys.
So, I got a little thing in the mail today. It's our donated Marvel crate. Yeah, it's awesome. From what I've seen, it has a Hulkbuster suit Pop Funko figure in it. It's got one of those little, what are they called? It's the little Pop Funko things. Drazo?
I forget. I don't remember what they're called, but I got an Iron Man one for my husband and he hates it. He hates everything Pop Funko, so I had to get him an Iron Man one naturally.
It's a shame that you're getting divorced. I'm sorry about that.
So this is Ultron, actually, and there's a few other cool things in there, including a t-shirt and some various patches and pins and stuff, but it's all cool Marvel stuff. Now, here's what you gotta do to be in the running to win it. You have to leave us a funny 5-star iTunes review. And because we don't know who left the review, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get in touch with us and say, this review is mine. So tweet us, Facebook us, whatever. Say, hey, look, guys, I put this iTunes review on, and then you will be in the running. And then we will announce the winner, the funniest 5-star iTunes review for Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. on our podcast number 76, which is in 1 month. It's 5 podcasts from now, but we've got Avengers Age of Ultron coming up this weekend, so that's when we'll announce it.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Again, I'm jealous.
Yeah, me too. You know what else was cool was this episode this week of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was, I wasn't expecting this, especially after coming off Melinda and stuff recently, but The Dirty Half Dozen was just, it was fun. And, okay, so it was written by our pair of Brent Fletcher, who's a co-executive producer of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Drew Greenberg, who is the current co-executive producer on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but also did like 36 episodes of Arrow, so about a season and a half of Arrow, Warehouse 13, Caprica, Dexter, The OC, so Drew is awesome. It's great.
Brent Fletcher wrote a bunch of my favorite episodes of Spartacus, so good on him.
Yeah. So
and was the script coordinator for Angel, Futurama, Spartacus. I mean, yeah, this guy's no slouch either.
Yeah, they get some heavy hitters coming in, or experienced guys, heavy hitters / experienced guys coming in for these great episodes, and was also directed by a family member, Kevin Tankeron, who Gee, I wonder.
My husband pointed out when we were watching, hey, you know how this fight scene in here with Skye is really awesome? You know what else Kevin Tankerone directed? May versus May.
Oh, so he's got some stunt work with him, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, he directed Face My Enemy, One of Us.
Because for a long time, his only directing credit was that Mortal Kombat video he did. So it's not surprising that he does awesome fights.
Okay, and I just looked at his IMDb page, and I'm feeling extremely inadequate now because he's only a couple days older than me.
What have you done with your life?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. You've got tremendous lab explosion sort of stories that I bet you he
She's
doesn't.
like one more lab accident away from taking over the world.
Yeah, she's going to be in the next Dr. Horrible sing-alongs.
You know who's one lab accident away from taking over the world?
Who's it?
Simmons?
Oh my god. She's so going evil mad scientist.
Yes!
She totally is.
Every villain thinks they're the hero, right?
Yeah, that's true. And she thinks she's got to do what she's got to do on her own.
And again, it's like, I can't really fault her for it because I really hate Ward.
Right.
But wow, that was hardcore.
It was.
Just wow. Like, remember back when we were like, oh yeah, she's gonna go all Darth Simmons. I think we're seeing that.
Little bit.
Like, we were watching it, my husband's like, wow, she scares me.
Grant Ward is disappointed in you. That's how far off the deep end you've gone.
Oh, I'm disappointed too. I'm disappointed her aim wasn't better.
They're going wild in the chat. Adam saying the Skyfall scene was awesome. Carol saying the incredible supervillain potential for Lauren. And Adam is also saying Darth Jemma.
Oh.
Yeah, just wow. The science babies have done some serious growing up and possibly not in a good way. I mean, on the one hand, I'm very proud of Jemma because she saw the chance and she took it, and Ward is an ass and I can't really fault her for it. But on the other hand, wow, that was really scary.
So they're back in the base, right? And they're talking back and forth a little bit. They're reunited. And Fitz is telling Jemma all about how
I attacked him back in the Quinjet. Hunter had to pull me off him.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't safe for Ward. Hunter had to hold me back, and Simmons is so impressed, and I'm like, oh, that's adorable.
You should have thrown him off the plane. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're talking about how sickening it is, and then immediately it's boom. Oh, thank you for that sandwich. That was so good. They're still so well together. It's taken a while to get back here, but okay, Lauren, go ahead, say it.
Science babies.
There you go. Gotta have one in every podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing that we wanted to talk about was the awesome Skye tactical kicking
Holy
ass
crap.
team.
Oh, wow.
Like, even if she didn't have superpowers, she would have torn apart that Hydra base.
Totally. That was awesome.
That was seriously amazing. Like, we were talking about it, we're like, okay, so remember when Skye first joined the team and she's like, yeah, I don't really do much. And now she's a ninja.
It was awesome.
This is why everybody on the team needs to do some training with May. You will become a ninja and it will be awesome.
I'm ready for Simmons to go to ninja school and then become the evil ninja, and then Skye and Simmons face off.
Oh my god, yes.
So I'm watching it the first time. I don't see her reloading a new clip. So I'm like,
yeah, she
okay.
did. I specifically saw that.
She did like 3 times.
So you're right. So
two, 3 times.
So the first time I'm like, well, she's got unlimited bullets in there, whatever. Because I was
She's
so
got a movie
captivated. Right. Because I was so captivated by her badassery. Because it's all in one. It's like that classic one take. I don't know if it was.
No, it actually was one take.
It was one continuous shot.
Yes, they did discuss that on, I think the Marvel Twitter did confirm it.
Oh, wow. That was amazing. So I'm like, wow, she's just keeps on shooting whatever. And then I don't see a clip because I'm so captivated by it. So on the second watch through, I'm like, okay, she's doing a clip here. She's doing a clip. Oh, okay. I get it. But it was so smooth. It was like, wow, amazing. Oh.
It was so well choreographed. Just well done show.
Okay. So now on the base, you've got Skye, you've got Agent 33, Kara, you've got Bobby, Mockingbird, and you've got May. Oh. Okay, so the four of them.
The badassery is palpable.
Well, we've got Mac and Hunter and Lincoln. Lincoln, whose shirt allergy is finally coming into effect.
I was going to ask you about that too. And again, in Daredevil style, you only see him with his shirt off when he's
got an oozing wound.
Yeah, right.
Thanks,
Marvel.
Thanks, ABC.
Well, it's Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC, or it's ABC's Marvel's
Funded by Disney.
Yeah.
Just all of you guys, thanks.
Okay. So Skye was badass there. She was also, the whole way she starts it with her powers.
That was so cool. And what I loved is you see how much control she has now, because the only thing in the room that moved was those guys. And the second time I was watching, they made sure very clearly to focus on that.
Yeah. And then Ward's like, oh, so that's what happened in Puerto Rico. And she's like, just shut up. Just,
okay. Every time Ward opened his mouth, I'm just there like, Ward. Shut up. Just shut up.
I wanted it to be like when they do the Buffy sing-alongs. Whenever Dawn talks, they say, shut up, Dawn. Just every time Ward opened his mouth, somebody just say, shut up, Ward.
So I think that we still have to talk about it, but the whole conference room scene where they're all like, oh, you so should have shot him in the face. They were so disgusted by that they just had to incinerate the whole plane to get rid of that Ward stink in there.
Get rid of the taint.
Yeah. He said taint.
I did, and I meant it because it's Ward.
Yeah, right.
She said what she meant, and she meant what she said.
Yes.
Okay, so again, in the conference room, they're all like, oh, you so should have shot him in the face.
I love that.
I'm still happy I shot you. Yeah, me too. Should have aimed for the face. Yeah. Every single one of them except Coulson was like, yep.
And he didn't disagree. He just said, Ward,
nope.
Just don't talk to
people. Just seriously, the sass level in this episode was off the charts. Between everyone there just being angry at Ward, and between Skye's, I thought her power was that she could run really fast and collect gold coins.
Oh my god,
Raina.
That was the best.
Just wow, everyone was just good job, writers. I loved it. I had to, for a while there, I was like, ooh, burn on Twitter. And then I was like, if I keep doing this, I'm not going to be tweeting anything else tonight. So I had to stop.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm going to talk about it because my beloved bus is no more. It's just, it was sacrificed. And we were talking about before we came on the cast that we equated it to we tried to equate it, and it didn't really work out, between the Battlestar Galactica jumping into the atmosphere and just falling in New Caprica. And we were thinking that that's the impact that they were just trying to go for. And it didn't get there. It's more like Star Trek 3, where the Enterprise explodes over the planet. So
here's what I think happened.
Okay.
With Battlestar, that was the first episode of the season. Well, the first chunk of episode of this season. So they had all off season leading up to it to work on that. This is like a mid-late season episode. I think they probably didn't have as much time to devote to getting it perfect.
I would agree. All the way for S.H.I.E.L.D. 218 onto the ground, that looked hokier than whatever, but it was still a cool effect. I mean, I appreciate it, but it wasn't the...
Thanks for trying.
Yeah.
Again, ruined by watching with a rocket scientist who every time we watch it is like, that doesn't happen that way. And I'm like, I know, shut up. Let me just watch.
But the 616 coming apart in air and 218 falling with it, that was really cool.
Okay, so when you see those two missiles like cross, and I'm like, oh, okay, it missed. And then it hits and it goes to commercial.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there like, what just happened? No, this is a hologram, right?
Right. That's what I thought too.
And it comes back from commercial and I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's a hologram. And Scott's like, no, they're on the Quinjet. I'm like, but the bus.
Yeah, I was hoping it was a Quinjet that had the outline like a bus. But no, it was actually the bus, and dang you for blowing it up. Dang
I know. What are we going to do with our phone line now? That was like my third thought that I had.
I know, that was actually my first thought. It's like, well, I'm not going to change the phone line. We're still going to call it the bus 1. So there you go.
But next season they'll have the bus 2.
Well, hopefully. And then we can just
I think so.
reference 616 as being like the best. Oh, will next season be like 616-A?
Well, okay, funnily enough, like the Marvel universe is all trying to squish into trying to get rid of the numbered universes and all this, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I wonder if that's their little dig at that, or if the writers just think they're being clever. So, I don't know. A little bit of meta stuff going on there.
I feel like season 1 was all about the bus. Season 2, they still had the bus, but most of the episodes, the main set was Coulson's base. I think season 3, we're going to get a new main set and it's going to be the new bus.
I so hope so. With a fish tank maybe next time?
With that new bus smell.
I did notice some S.H.I.E.L.D. logos on the bus. They got some S.H.I.E.L.D. logos back on the bus.
And just in time to blow it up.
Yeah, I know.
They updated the credit card information on their Cafe Press account so they could get more stuff.
Right. Oh, and we did see some Hydra logos in their base, too.
They have Hydra body bags. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, that's so nice. That's so Hydra.
Because you wouldn't want that body be mistaken for not belonging to Hydra or something.
Oh, no. I mean, just think of the problems it would cause.
All right. Okay, so the other main story that we didn't talk about yet, running throughout this entire episode, was the whole Raina manipulation going on.
Who didn't see that coming?
Right. And Cal even told Jiang.
Skye, I guess.
Yeah. Cal even told his ex-wife, did we confirm that they're divorced?
I guess they're still technically married.
Well, she did die, so death did them part.
But she wasn't completely dead, so...
She wasn't completely dead, only mostly dead.
She had to be pieced back together. Well, anyway, so they're talking and Cal's like, oh, she was fun out there. She was conniving.
She's going to cause you problems.
Yeah, you keep an eye on her. So I think Jiang decided to keep Cal around as help against Raina instead of sending him away again.
Yeah, to be perfectly cold about it, I think that's probably what she ended up deciding.
Okay, so the question is, did Raina actually see a vision of Skye rescuing Lincoln, or did she just say she saw a vision of it?
I think she did, and I think she saw what happened next, which is Skye in a cage.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Skye in a cage. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody did take the Skye from Cal.
And Lobster isn't even here. He's rubbing off on you. All those recording sessions over on Crimson Comet.
I see what you did there.
The puns are coming.
It's what we do.
Okay, so another one was the whole Gonzalez thing where, this is great. So it was confirmed by Coulson that he knows that Gonzalez has something in the cargo hold and he shouldn't. And Fury's still alive, spoilers. And, Maria Hill's calling. I got to go take this.
And I guess Coulson is temporarily not the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore because Fury's going to be back to reclaim it in a couple of days.
Right. So he didn't even complain when May said, you're not the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. And he's like, well, yeah, Fury's back. It wasn't like, okay, Gonzalez is. He didn't say that. We all know Fury's back.
Yeah. So now I guess we have confirmation that Theta Protocol is, I guess, getting ready to bring in the Avengers for whatever Age of Ultron is setting up.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to go back to the chat really quick because Cajun Sean said something that I thought of too. I immediately thought of the Millennium Falcon floating away with the trash when I saw that scene. With the S.H.I.E.L.D. 21A coming down, and I so thought that as well. But, okay, back to Deathlok being dismantled.
Oh my god. That's...
Ouch.
Yeah.
They're taking his eye from him. Ew. Ew.
Yeah, I have this fascination with body horror and stuff like that. There's this one book series that I really like. Well, the first book, I can't find the second one in the series, but there's a character who you see from his point of view as... he gets all of his organs donated while they're still talking to him. And that's kind of what it reminded me of. Or I think it's Quake 4, where you see somebody being turned into some sort of like zombie monster bad guy thing. It's been years since I saw somebody play the game, so don't judge me too harshly for that. But you see it from that character's point of view as they're undergoing this surgery, and it's pretty horrifying. So yeah, that sort of thing disturbs me on a visceral level. And this, I mean, granted, it was just that one little bit with the eye, but still just,
Right. And then the leg later too, when he's sitting on the gurney back in the base and the reason why you can't feel your leg is, well, it's
not there.
Yeah. Well, it was there. It was just like,
no, the other leg,
the one that was gone.
The one that was gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Simmons said she was familiar with Deathlok's anatomical structure. How familiar?
Yeah, I giggled.
I did too.
Right. So he's being sent off to some place, and that was, I didn't know if that was going to be an Avengers reference or not.
I don't think it is. I think they're setting up something else later.
Because he did get the mods at some point in time from somewhere. I think it was from Tony Stark, but it could be from somebody else. Guess it's not from Fitz, because he didn't know.
I was assuming that it was going to be something involving Stark Industries, but we'll see.
We shall see. oh, hey, Baikshi, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Baikshi.
I guess we have our answer of what was up with Baikshi.
Yeah. Well, we still really don't know, but it doesn't matter anymore, does it?
No, because now all he is dust in the wind.
Da ha 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 ha. At this point, I think what it was is that he was in a position where they had two unconscious metahumans lying on the floor, and what Baikshi would do was take them into custody. So, without anything to countermand the do what Baikshi would do order he was given, he just had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of sad to see him go, though, because I really did like him on the show.
He was delightfully evil.
He was.
And he's no more. Boo. Boo. All our delightful villains get dead. Well, List is still around.
List is still around, but for how much longer?
He's going to Avengers.
Yeah.
Probably to die.
Hopefully.
What we've learned from season 1 is that when you leave the TV show to go be in the movie, you die. Bye-bye, Sitwell.
Sitwell's still around, dang it.
Nope.
He got better. He could be a Deathlok.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so who's Agent 33's new best bud? Is it May? Is it Bobby?
Oh, her and Bobby are totally braiding each other's hair right now.
Yeah, I think her and Bobby are going to... Okay, well, first of all, I have so many thoughts on Agent 33. First of all, I agree with everyone who says that it creeps them out that her and Ward together. Like, I love when she's like, oh, that's when I met Grant. And you see Bobby, like, throw up in her mouth a little. And Hunter is like, oh, I'm going to be sick just watching them. And Fitz is like, focus on your wound. It's less disturbing. Just everyone who's like, oh, no, that's not right. So.
That's not right.
Exactly. My husband and I were talking about it later. And we're trying to figure, do you think Ward was actually making an effort to try to be with her? Or do you think that he was manipulating her the whole time? No emotions at all.
Here's my thing. I think she could still be a plant. Of course, I was the one who's thinking Simmons was Hydra too. So, but yeah, she could still legitimately be a plant that Ward and Agent 33 are planning something, and she is now inside the base so he can get inside information just like he got inside information from Baikshi when he was in Hydra.
I fully believe that, but do you think that he did it on purpose? Do you think that he nurtured her dependence on him and everything on purpose? Or do you think that maybe he was at first genuinely trying to be like, okay, maybe I could do this. Maybe I'm not such a bad guy. And then he realized, no, I'm a terrible person after all, but I'm going to go for this anyway.
I think he kind of wants redemption, and she was that path to redemption that he saw, and then he saw something else.
Right. Well, yes. Okay, I'll go with that.
I'm still absolutely positive that the main reason that he's leaving her there is so that he could eventually come back and use her as an asset.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely positive of this.
I will never trust Grant Ward. Ever.
No.
No, you can't, especially after he killed his family. I mean, it's so many things, okay? It's not just the family, but definitely when he killed his family, that was like, oh my, definitely bad guy. Never trust him. And I'm surprised that Coulson did. I mean, Coulson had to know, I guess he was just using him because Coulson had a secondary motive, actually a primary motive that he didn't tell anybody, was to get in there and get the information off their computer systems for the Scepter or whatever, right?
He pulled a Black Widow and Cap too.
Yeah. He absolutely did. Probably because Fury told him.
And he said, he was pretty sure if he'd been honest about why he was going, he would have lost the swing vote. And the swing vote was May.
Exactly.
So he was lying because he knew May wouldn't go along with it.
Not at that time, no. And do you believe him when he says he was talking to Andrew just because of the writing issue?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's a tough call. With S.H.I.E.L.D., you never know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's plausible, but again, we've seen so much sketchy stuff this season that you genuinely don't know.
Right. I mean, there is good and bad, but there's rarely are there pure good and bad. It's intertwined all over the place, and you just don't know. As a matter of fact, it gets to a lot of things, and one of the things that we see in this episode is Hunter and Mac coming back together where Hunter forgives him, basically.
That made me happy. I like Mac. I want Mac to be back on the team. I like Mac.
I know. You couldn't find anywhere but a bathroom to lock me up. I'm sorry. I looked for any other place.
I agree. A drink is the absolute bare minimum that he owes Hunter after all that.
That's like the given, right? Okay, this is where we start, and we'll see what happens from there. You want a bro weekend in Vegas? Okay, you got it. You want to go...
Blackjack and hookers.
With literally blackjack and hookers, yeah, right.
I'm hoping that's what the spinoff series is. Fine, we'll start our own shield with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going through my notes here. Finally got the team back together. That was odd.
We're getting the band back together. That was my very first note for this episode. When Coulson said, I've got my own people for it.
Right.
Yep. Getting the band back together.
Right. And Ward is the one who actually says it in the cargo space of 616. And I was so glad that Lola wasn't on board.
Yes. That would have been a disaster.
Yeah. Or they could have used it as a lifeboat. I don't know. All right. So there was a Candyman reference?
Yes.
I didn't know what that meant.
What?
I don't understand that reference.
You've never seen Candyman?
I don't believe so.
Oh my God. It's amazing. Okay. No, this is one that you have to see. Come Halloween, you are watching Candyman. It's amazing.
Okay.
Tony Todd is fantastic.
Let them know on More Than Chick Flicks.
Okay. So the whole thing, it's the story. You say Candyman 3 times and he shows up in the mirror and kills you. And when I was little, somebody swore that if you say Candyman 5 times, then this giant guy would show up in your mirror and throw Tootsie Rolls at you, which is the main reason why I wasn't scared of Candyman. So.
See, why didn't they say Beetlejuice? Because I would have gotten that.
Because Candyman is scarier.
I'm not sure who owns Beetlejuice, but I'm pretty sure Disney doesn't. That's a wild guess there. I think it's Warner Brothers.
Plus, if they end up getting Tony Todd to show up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think that would just be amazing.
Yeah, would be great.
Okay.
All right. As I'm looking through my notes, you guys have anything to say?
So there were so many parallel storylines going on this episode
Yes.
that my husband and I were pointing out, like Agent 33 and Cal both being left behind for what purpose, or what to do with these people for what purpose.
What is Gonzalez going to do with them?
Oh,
yeah.
The Inhumans.
Like, how Hydra is he?
Yeah. What exactly is his plan with enhanced people?
It's got to have something to do with whatever's in the frickin' cargo hold. And Coulson knows what it is. Fury knows what it is. I think they've got a plan for it, but...
What if he has a diviner?
I was actually wondering about that.
That won't affect either of those.
No, but he could be trying to figure out what about their anatomy makes it...
They can touch it without dying, so
right.
they can handle it.
And when exposed to the Terrigen Mist inside of it, it turns them into Inhumans instead of killing them. So if he's trying to make his own super people army, he needs to understand that.
Yeah, he could be. I would love to say this is all going to be answered this weekend when we go see Avengers Age of Ultron, but I have no idea.
But probably not.
No, I think at this point, this was the fork in the road. Avengers is taking one path and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to take the other.
Agreed. I think that if all else, we'll be very lucky if we find out what was in the cargo hold by the season finale.
Yeah.
Yes. But in the trailer, they called them Inhumans. Is that the first time they've been referred to as that?
I thought they said it earlier, because I feel like they said the thing, but I don't know if they actually did.
I feel like they didn't call the group Inhumans. Somebody said something like, I've become inhuman, something inhuman, or something like that.
Oh, I was remembering May's panel from PlanetCon when she said inhuman.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if they've referred to the group of people in the show as Inhumans at this point.
Adam says in the chat, Skye made a Sideways reference, and also she made a video game reference, didn't she?
Yeah, the Sonic one, which Lauren quoted earlier.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm totally out. So what about you, Lauren?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
I have a few quotes that we didn't get to.
Okay.
Oh, before I do that, Raina foresees Avengers Age of Ultron. That is her last bit of clairvoyancy for the episode.
Yeah, I foresee clips from the trailer.
Yeah, and before we move on to the quotes...
I saw the international release. It was excellent.
Before we move on to the quotes, I love how they're actually doing some cameos via vidscreen now, like Maria Hill and Agent Weaver and Agent Beardley Oliver, whatever his name is.
Beardley Oliver. That would be amazing if that... Okay, from now on, that's his first name until we know otherwise.
I mean, it's Agent Oliver, right? And his...
Yes.
I don't know. I know they said it and I forgot to write it down.
They said Agent Oliver.
Yeah,
okay.
And his freaking head, his beard is bigger than his head. Like, man.
I will refer to him as Beardley McBeardson until he does something worth having a name.
Okay. I'm out now. Go ahead with your quotes.
Okay, and we actually used a lot of the good ones so far, so I don't have a ton.
Okay.
Nauseous. Not from getting shot. It's just those two.
I shouldn't have had that hot pocket.
Poof. No more Ward.
That would have been
if
good.
Only. I mean, I say that, but he's a good villain to have around, but every time he's on screen, I'm just like, oh, I hate you.
Oh, shoot him again.
And we really haven't delved into him. Before the Hydra reveal came out, he had a lot of really cool panels, and then nobody wanted to talk about him anymore. And now he's a nice guy as an actor.
No, he really is. He was at Comic Palooza last year, and he was just so enthusiastic. He was really good with the crowd. He's great on Twitter, but you just love to hate him.
I know. At least we're getting a better sense for him now. After 2 years has gone by, we know how screwed up he really is. It's not like he's totally bad. He's just really screwed up, which is bad all on its own. But he's not Hydra. He's not S.H.I.E.L.D. He's just screwed.
He's neutral, chaotic. Chaotic neutral.
He's chaotic. All right. Do you have any more quotes, or are you completely out?
How are they all? Are you making friends?
Oh.
Mistakes were made by you.
By you.
And people got hurt.
By you.
That was a good scene.
We were a team and a family, and you betrayed us.
And then he goes into this wacky, we were good for a little while or whatever. It's like, just shut up.
You're just digging yourself a bigger hole.
And we're just no more talking to people.
Ooh, guest 419 has an interesting comment. Late to the discussion, but I don't trust Coulson regarding May's ex. Rule number 1, Coulson lies.
I know, I don't trust him either. I don't know that for sure that he's lying, but it's equally possible that he is.
Now, he's lying, but I still trust him.
I trust him big picture. I don't know if I trust a single thing he says.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, you got any more quotes?
She's manipulative, dangerous, deceitful. We had good times.
Keep an eye on her.
Yep, that's it.
All right. This was awesome. And then, of course, the next time we come at you will be Sunday afternoon. So watch your Twitters and your Facebooks, and we'll get the word out. So Sunday afternoon, we're going to talk Avengers Age of Ultron live. It's going to be spoiler-filled. We'll have seen the film 1 or 2 times each, preferably 2.
Definitely 2.
Maybe 3.
Definitely 2.
So we'll have seen it, and we'll be chatting live. It will be spoiler-filled, and then we will come back at you next Wednesday, normal time, to talk the next episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. We've been waiting all this time. And then doing this podcast, you're like, even if you're not excited about it, you build up excitement. Like, as we get closer to Ant-Man, it might not be this excited, but we're still gonna be more excited. Like, okay, we're gonna see the movie. Yay! So, get it over with. So this weekend is going to be awesome with Avengers Age of Ultron. It'll be fun, and that is all cool. So you guys ready to go on to the Planet ComicCon panel?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This will honestly be our last segment that we do from Planet ComicCon 2015. It's with Karen Gillan, who played Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy. I listened.
The bald blue chick.
Yeah. I listened to her entire panel. It is hilarious. You'll probably be hearing some clips from her on Gallifrey Public Radio in a while. So just stay tuned. It was a funny panel. Haley, what was your experience in the room?
It was pretty awesome. If you've heard the whole panel, which SP has, at some point, somebody comes up and asks a question, and the girl was wearing big, huge sunglasses and a big floppy hat. It was her cousin, Caitlin Blackwell, who played young Amelia Pond on the show. And she crashed the panel.
That was so fun. And apparently Karen didn't know she was going to be in the room, or at least she played it like she didn't.
No, because she had a panel right before that, her own panel. So, they probably thought she would still be busy transitioning out of that. But no, about halfway through the panel, she shows up with a question.
Oh, by the way, back in Euro Disney, did you ditch your cousins? She's like,
no, on the way to Disney World, did you throw up on one of your younger cousins?
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what it was.
It was fun. Oh, but it was a fun.
And yes, she did.
Yeah.
Apparently.
She was outed. So we have 4 clips to go through. I'm going to play the first one unless you got anything else to say.
Nope.
All right, here we go.
Come to the other side.
Hello. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
I was just wondering, in Guardians of the Galaxy, I know you worked with like Chris Pratt, Michael Rooker. They're all pretty funny guys. What was the funniest instance on set that you saw with them, or that you could tell about that was, memorable?
I just remember some person
running around with like a raccoon face on them. because obviously Rocket was CGI, but they had to have something there for an eye line. So they had someone wearing a raccoon mask, I remember. But then like the funniest thing was just seeing Chris Pratt and everybody just do their serious acting opposite this tiny raccoon. So personally, I found that hilarious. Thank you.
All right, I'm a little confused. Was that Sean Gunn or was that not Sean Gunn?
For
the
that
raccoon?
part, I don't know. The raccoon with
The mask?
the raccoon mask.
I thought that Sean Gunn was supposed to be in the raccoon mask and all from the behind the pictures I've seen.
Well, because they also had a little stuffed raccoon that they use sometimes.
Right.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but she was specifically mentioning somebody running around with a raccoon mask.
That was probably Sean Gunn then.
I would imagine that they did. I listened to the whole panel. We've already played the clips from it, the Rooker Gunn panel, and somebody asked them if he was the one. I don't ever remember him answering that. So anyway, we have 3 more clips. I'm going to play the next one now. We're going to hear. It's a little funny. Just pay attention to the actors she refers to.
How do you go from your Scottish normal accent to your more evil accent in Nebula? And can you answer that as Nebula?
Oh my god. Wait, what was the Nebula voice again? There's been too many voices. It was kind of like, I remember, it was like, it's really easy to, that's really hard. It's kind of hard to make that transition when I'm not really in it, but I will say that I copied Clint Eastwood. That's where that voice came from. That was me doing a Clint Eastwood impression.
I want to go up on that a little bit because you have done a number of voices and accents. I mean, you were on a sketch comedy show before Doctor Who as well. So do you have a little bit of mimic skills innately? Are you able to kind of do impressions of people?
I'm not good at impressions of people, right? But I feel like I can do different accents. But like in terms of impressions, they're usually really bad.
And then in terms of doing Eliza, then I mean, what was your process there of getting that accent down? Because obviously you're going to be doing it in multiple episodes and a long commitment.
Yeah, it was cool trying to find that voice. Actually, I wanted it to be really specific and not just like general American because. There's a certain way of talking among these types of girls that I really noticed when I went to Los Angeles, and I was like, whoa, that's really interesting, this sort of like valley girl thing. And sometimes it's really extreme. Like, oh my god. I was like, whoa, you talk really weird. So I was like, I really want to do that, and I remember when I was doing the TV, when I was doing Selfie, they were kind of like, can you dial it back a little bit? And I was like, sure. But yeah, I think I watched Girls as well, that TV show, and kind of, that was a combination between all 4 of the girls.
And Clint Eastwood? No, that was the other thing.
That was Nebula. Nebula is Clint Eastwood / Marilyn Monroe.
I never thought I'd hear anybody equate Clint Eastwood and Marilyn Monroe before this.
Yeah, I'm not sure who I would have pegged that voice as, but I'm not sure Clint Eastwood would have been it. I hear her on being bad at impersonations, though.
It was digitally modulated anyway, right?
Well, yeah, it had that like reverb kind of.
Right, because she's part machine, so.
Right, but she also just lowered the tone of her voice. Like you could hear that when she was doing the voice at the con.
Right.
Yeah.
And then kind of flattened out her response.
She tried, right.
Yeah, but she couldn't keep a straight face to do it, which it's really weird. She's in front of a couple thousand people.
Right.
And trying to do that voice, seriously.
Yeah, totally not Rooker, because Rooker was immediately into it, right? And she just she couldn't transition.
Well, it's not like you can giggle while you're doing the Nebula voice.
That's true, you can't. It's all business. Okay, well, now, she has been involved in another series before, hasn't she, Haley?
Yeah, I mean, probably not many people have heard about it. It's not an American show, so.
Just a foreign.
Yeah, it's some little forum program.
Is it subtitled?
I haven't been able to find the subtitles. I know a lot of people had a hard time understanding what was going on this season.
That's true. So, of course, we're talking about Doctor Who. She played Amy Pond on Doctor Who, and somebody came up and asked her a question to equate, well, how difficult was the transition? So this was her answer.
Hi, it's really nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. And I really like your boots, by the way. Thanks, Top Shop. Oh. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that, actually. I was just wondering what it was like to go from filming a TV show, that being Doctor Who, to filming Guardians of the Galaxy, which is obviously like this huge movie. So
it was quite intimidating going on to like a huge scale film because I'd never done one before that, so I was like, what's it going to be like? And then when I got on set, it was spaceships, and I was like, I know a thing or two about those. I'm pretty at home with this. The only difference really was that it was like 20 times bigger because they just have like a huge budget. But other than that, it was kind of the same. I felt weirdly at home with all the aliens and sort of weird technology. It was cool. Thank you. Thanks.
Yep. Aliens are fine. Ships are bigger.
Oh, so this is what it's like when what you're working on has money.
Well, in their defense, Doctor Who brings in a lot of money. Matter of fact, I think they're the number 2 grossing program for BBC.
Yeah, but I don't think they spend a lot of money on the show, given the size of the show.
Well, true. Plus, it always was a B sort of sci-fi hackish thing, so...
And that's kind of the tone you've got to maintain at this point. Even if they had a bigger budget, they have to make it look campy.
True. Anyway, and then we saved the best for last. She gives a little hint on what she would want for her character's future.
Hi, I just wanted to ask your opinion on one of the theories that's circulating, that Nebula, after escaping Guardians of the Galaxy, was on her way to Earth, and that's what's going to start the Infinity War in 2018.
Oh, I mean, I support this. That would be great. I feel like I would love to go for the glove and get those gems. I think that would be really cool for Nebula, so hopefully.
I'm surprised she even knew about the gauntlet.
Oh, of course she does. I mean, people have probably been asking her about stuff like that since the role got announced.
Yeah, true now.
And I feel like they take all the actors to a little Marvel comic boot camp just to make sure they can answer questions knowledgeably.
Yeah, not only are there Marvel snipers, they're Marvel teachers. This is what we want you to say. Right. So, yeah, that was all fun. Do you have any last comments about the Karen Gillan panel?
It was a while ago at this point, so I don't really remember it clearly.
I was drunk. It was at the end of the con.
I came into this one, and actually this one started late because the one before it ran long. I remember that. And I went to put my stuff down in the seat, and somebody that had been sitting one row further back, the panel before, shoved all their bags and stuff down in the seat right as I was getting ready to set my stuff down. And I was like, seriously, dude? And then I, just stepped behind them and took their seats. But I was like, dude, come on. That was one of like 2 people at the entire con that was a D-bag.
Yeah, con etiquette, people. Yes, everybody's there. Have some fun. Move on with life.
Yep. Everyone else was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that guy, I hate that guy.
Next year.
If you're listening, that guy.
Beware.
Seriously.
Haley smash, and Haley knows how to use a WJ, so I'd be worried about where I park my car. Okay. So I hope you guys have enjoyed these clips from the panel. It's how we had to do them as prescribed by the con itself. So I just hope you guys like it. We will have some clips in the outtakes again. I hope you guys have enjoyed that too. So if you have, please let us know, and we will try to keep doing them as we go on. So before we get to the next segment, I just want to give a little promo to a podcast on the network, Tyrion's Landing. They are doing a great job podcasting on this season of Game of Thrones, and I would just go check them out and hear their latest episode. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Well, I like to think so.
Since you actually got a chance to be on the podcast, right, Lauren?
I did, yes. They were very nice and nice enough to have me on. And I kind of completely ruined it by talking giant bronze penises.
I think that's just the normal mojo for that show. I think you just fine.
Okay, yeah.
If you hadn't brought it up, somebody else would have.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So if you want to hear Lauren talk about Game of Thrones and giant bronze schlongs, so go ahead, check out Tyrion's Landing, episode 81.
Is it schlons?
It's whatever it is you want it to be. Welcome to our Marvel news segment. We'll start off with ratings. What do you got for us, Haley?
This week, live plus same day, 4.46 million viewers, which I think is the highest of this half of the season.
I'm scrolling up, and I would agree.
It's looking like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think next week is probably going to be even higher.
I would. You know what? Last year, the week after, took a little dive because people.
Oh, because people didn't have time to go watch it and didn't want to. Yeah. I don't know.
But I think that because they're like, okay, this one isn't going to tie in as much, maybe it'll still. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm hoping. I would like to see them get above 5 million for the rest of the season.
That would be wonderful.
And then you also have a little insight as to who actually beat out a portion of the ratings for this past week, right?
Yeah, a little show called The Flash.
Now, they didn't win the total ratings, but they did win the key demographic of 18 to 49. That's amazing.
Right, which isn't surprising since it's on the CW, which only targets people 18 to not even 49, like 18 to 19.
I think more people are actually watching it. I think everybody's getting in on the hype and they're like, oh, this is cool. Because Flash is really a family show, whereas Arrow is more a key demographic. Although, you know, it's kind of funny. As we were recording the other week and we were saying that Arrow needs more shirtless scenes, at that very moment, like plus or minus 5 minutes, there was that giant shirtless scene going on in Arrow.
Yay!
And if you haven't seen it yet, I haven't spoiled anything. I've just said there's a giant shirtless scene that happened in Arrow, and it's really cool. I had fun with it too. So, okay, so then go back a couple of weeks, and we get the Live Plus 7-day ratings about 3 weeks ago. So you have to go back to the Afterlife episode, and the original rating on that for the same day plus live rating was 4.29. They got a 63% bump for Live Plus 7. It was the third highest bump that week in terms of percentage. The following got 91%, which is like the most I've seen in a while. Forever got 72%, and then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was 63%. They did, on a list of the top 25 shows, fall to 22nd. It's still good. It's still top 25 shows on TV. It's great. All right. So we will, of course, keep bringing you ratings as we wonder if the show is going to be renewed or not, which is kind of silly at this point because we know it all is going to be renewed, if anything, because Disney says so. So we're going to start off our news stories this week with our highlight story of the week. And Haley, did you get a chance to watch this video, by the way, that we're talking about?
I saw a little bit of it.
Okay. Do you wish to describe what you've seen?
So, we know there is a master of cameos, and that master's name is Stan Lee. All hail the king. And he tries to impart some of his wisdom onto others to let them know how to cameo.
Not just any others. We're talking like Kevin Smith, Michael Rooker. We're talking big name actors.
I think I saw Tara Reid in there.
Yes, Tara Reid was in there too. Yeah. So actors that want to be kings and queens of cameos, Stan Lee is it's funny. You get the link in the show notes if you haven't watched it already. It is definitely funny. It is, I believe, based on an Acura commercial or some kind of car commercial or something like that. So, anywho, the big news this week, of course, is Avengers Age of Ultron is out as of tomorrow night.
I'm going tomorrow.
What time?
One more sleep till Avengers.
What time?
It airs, or it's in theaters at 7. That's the only showtime they have tomorrow night. So that's where I'm going. And then I'm going to go home and do a podcast after that about Flash.
Yeah, I'm going to the 7 o'clock show as well, because that means that I get to sleep early.
I've thought about going tomorrow night, but I'm going to get the podcast pre-edited and I'm going to go. I took Friday off, so I'm going to go.
Somebody has to be a responsible adult, and it's not me and Lauren.
Yeah, only one of us on this podcast are parents of actual human beings, so that would be me. Yeah.
Yeah. My cats don't really care. So,
yep.
Well,
I just put out some food once a day. The cat's fine.
Well, they think the world is ending if I don't feed them exactly on time or an hour early. So, but yeah, whatever. They're cats.
And then I always have to wonder if Lauren's going to try to turn her animals into real humans, especially that tarantula. What was that tarantula's name anyway?
The tarantula's name was Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart, yes, because of the box, yeah. I can see Pop-Tart turning into a rapper or something like that.
And no, I watched Full Metal Alchemist. That does not end well for anyone.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. In any event, we have some stories of note to say about Avengers Age of Ultron. And this isn't really a spoiler. I just thought it was kind of interesting that Joss Whedon would even say anything about this, but it does say what his mindset is on movies, and that is Agent Coulson is still dead for Age of Ultron.
Right. He said the weight of Coulson's death was so important for the tone of the first movie that he had to maintain that going in to the second movie to carry that arc through across his films. So Coulson's still dead in Age of Ultron and will probably stay dead for the entire movie.
I could definitely see that. Be brought back in Ant-Man or something.
He shows up in Ant-Man and they're like, yeah, I don't know or care who you are. And
Who's
he's like,
this guy?
okay, whatever.
I could see that. Okay, so Avengers Age of Ultron opened last weekend in 44 countries and
Not here.
you know, I was thinking about that. The next time I don't even know what the next big movie would be, but the next time they do this, we have to do a Kickstarter to go to, I don't know, New Zealand or Australia or wherever to catch one of the first showings of this puppy. So we're going to do that next time, the three of us. We're going to go on a plane. We're going to get there. Anyway, so it opened and I don't know, maybe a couple people kept buying the tickets over and over again. I don't know. At $201 million in one weekend. It might get close to that here in the United States. We'll see. It depends on if they count Thursday through Sunday.
They will.
Yeah, it might
They
get
always
close
do.
to 200 million just in the United States.
I'm trying to remember, wasn't the opening weekend last time like $500 million or something crazy like that?
Yeah,
I can't remember numbers.
yeah.
I can't remember either, but I remember it was just crazy numbers.
It was like all the money. I remember that.
Right. There's a website out there that you can get this sort of information, like the most opening weekends of movies or whatever, and then you can get domestic and international.
Okay, opening weekend was $207 million for the first Avengers movie.
Domestic or worldwide?
Yeah, domestic.
Wow. And that, I think, includes Canada. But, wow. That's 207. Well, the bar is set. We'll see if it gets up to 207. Are we going to have a quarter bet on China this time again?
I think it's going to do better than Guardians of the Galaxy did.
I would hope so.
I'm going to go out on that limb.
Well, as long as you're out on that limb, why don't you tell us about some videos that you saw?
So, last week before Age of Ultron comes out, there are tons of videos out there you can watch. We got a bunch of cast interviews, some more clips from the movie that we're not going to talk about, but you can go watch those if you want. There's also a video of Sesame Street parodying the Avengers movie, and there's a Science of the Super Soldier Serum video that you can check out.
Lots of goodness.
Check the show notes.
Definitely. I had not have a chance to read or watch the science video, but I am still going to do that. That will be awesome. Okay, so what is also awesome is there's been some Spider-Man movement abroad, and one of the things that Sony came in and said is, hey, we're going to make an animated Spider-Man movie, and they're going to use the actual actor as the voice actor. So, as far as we know, they haven't...
Spider-Man. Sorry.
Go ahead. And I don't think it's copyrighted.
Spider-Man. Couldn't help myself. It probably is.
True.
I still love the 90s version of that theme song, the one with Aerosmith doing it.
Oh, nice. Reminds me of the Transformer movies. All right. So we also got, somebody spilled the beans. It was kind of funny. There was about a gazillion articles that went out because there was one article that went out, one interview of Chris Evans, and then everybody piled on. It was kind of funny to watch. But Chris Evans basically said, yeah, we're going to start shooting Infinity War, and it's going to last a while.
So, yes. According to him, he said, it's going to be like 9 months to shoot both movies back to back.
It's a long time.
And, oh, by the way, Cap 3 started filming yesterday.
Yep.
Woot.
There was a tweet from Chris Evans wishing goodbye to his beard.
Bye, Chris's beard.
Bye, Chris Beard.
Did he do a shaving scene like Edward James Olmos, maybe? Maybe like Ward?
And then he cut himself.
Yeah.
Not as far as I know, but if he had, he should have put that up on Twitter.
So if Chris Evans shaved his beard, that means Chris Pratt gets to grow his out, right? Isn't that how that works?
Logically speaking, yes.
Okay.
And then I don't know what that means Chris Hemsworth is going to be doing. Like,
he grows his hair out a little bit longer.
I guess.
Doesn't shave his legs anymore.
Start shooting Pantene commercials.
Okay, now you know those horses that have like the really long flowing
manes
locks on on their legs?
Oh,
like
yes.
It looks like they're wearing bell bottoms.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm picturing Chris Hemsworth like that now. Just prancing down the road with this long flowing leg hair.
I can't say I'm visioning him prancing, but I can see what you're saying.
Okay, no. Okay, go look up Thor prancer size. It's worth it. Anyway, Yes, it's going to, Infinity War is going to be filming for a long time, but it's going to be 2 movies, so it makes sense.
And they're not going to be short movies.
And they're not going to be short movies.
It's going to be like Back to the Future 2 and 3, filmed together.
It's going to be like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a lot of walking.
Oh my God, does that mean we'll get like a 12-hour cut? Because I want that.
No kidding.
Yeah, including costuming, as they're getting the flow going. Right.
Yes.
All right. We also have a news story about a game.
Woot. So Marvel is partnering up with Telltale Games, and they're going to have a series of games coming out. It's supposed to premiere in 2017. That's as much as we know about it right now. But it's coming.
Telltale is fantastic.
It's coming, guys.
I've played their Walking Dead game. I'm playing their Game of Thrones game. They're a fantastic company. So I'm very, very, very much looking forward to this.
So moving on into the casting, I already alluded to it. Spider-Man has a short list out there, or at least it did, including Nat Wolff, Asia Butterfield. There's a lot of Tom Holland, lots of actors that they're considering that are young. They want to cast them for 15 years. They want them to start out in high school. So there's a lot of actors that I really don't know, except for the one that was in Ender's Game. I kind of know him.
Yeah, he was in Hugo, Ender's Game. He's the only one of these I have any familiarity with.
And he's got these naturally glowing eyes, too. I mean, if I was going to cast anybody, I'd cast him. But who knows what, because they probably have some, I don't know if artists or physicians or whatever. What is this guy going to look like in 10 years? So I bet you they do some of that. Like, bring a lot of pictures of like your dad, your uncles, your grandparents. Let's see what you're going to look like.
These guys all just look really weird to me. I don't know, kind of potato-faced.
Well, Spider-Man is supposed to be weird.
Well, no, maybe it's just because I'm getting old, but they just all look really weird to me.
Welcome to getting old. It sucks. And happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Also, we have an awe story, as we usually do, and Marvel's great with this. And in this case, it was fans. But Lauren, what do we got?
All right. So the link we have is to thenerdist.com. So everybody has been kind of hyped up for years about, is that the Hulkbuster armor? Is that the Hulkbuster armor? Every time we see a movie and wherein we potentially see the Hulkbuster Iron Man armor. Well, now that we're finally getting it for sure confirmed in the movie.
It's in the Marvel crate.
Yes. And now it's in the Marvel crate. And this person decided, you know what? I am going to do one better. I'm going to make a Hulkbuster high chair. So there's this video. It's about a 9-minute video of these people. It's called Super Fan Builds. And they've done things like making a Han Solo and carbonite coffee table, which I want. They did the Iron Throne toilet, which we talked about on Tyrion's Landing, which I also want. But right now, here it is. They're doing the Hulkbuster high chair, and it is fantastic. And why couldn't anybody have done that for me when I was a kid?
I know. We had, big wheels and...
My sister had this Barbie car that she used to run people over because she would not admit that she didn't know how to drive it. She would drive like they do in the movies where you just kind of jolt your hands side to side to make it look like they're moving.
Yeah.
But she thought that was actually how you drive. So her car, the little car would just go side to side and it would hit everybody. Uh-huh. And then she would specifically aim it at me when I told her that that's not how you drive.
Yeah. Well, why not? Tell me no, I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, check out the video. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty awesome. This thing is amazing. And it has all these, all these moving parts and the little high chair part. The chest opens up. It's amazing.
I'm definitely going to be paying attention to these guys more often because they do awesome work.
They really do. I love doing crafty stuff. Anybody who follows me on Twitter or Tumblr has probably seen my attempts at things. And so far, the most that I've done on this level is I built a prop gun once, but it's nowhere near on this level.
Yeah, we have an acquaintance, a friend, that actually built his own R2-D2. He built his own Stormtrooper armor, and I got to get with him at some point in time because I would love to learn how to do that.
Yeah, oh my God, yes.
This weekend I was at Who Fest 2 in Dallas, and they had an awesome little K9 running around the place.
Cool.
If you listen to the latest Gallifrey Public Radio, you can hear us talking with the guy that built the thing.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome.
Awesome. I will be listening to that tomorrow. Okay. So a couple last news stories. First of all, we've talked about this before. Stan Lee Media they continue to try to impinge their will on their ability to make money off of something that they're never going to be able to do.
Stanley Media is the worst.
It is. So Disney and Marvel actually went after this little theater and said they did some copyright infringement by having a live performance or something like that. And it was fine. They said, okay, just don't do it again. If you do it again, you have to pay a $25,000 fine, but just, it can't be an ongoing thing. So everything was fine. But then Stanley Media came in and said, now wait a minute. They don't get a chance to sue. We own the rights. We get a chance to sue.
Okay, the little theater had a license from Stanley Media to use Spider-Man.
Correct. Yeah.
So because they were getting sued, this gave Stanley Media an opportunity to try and sue Marvel and Disney again.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, see, our license is good, so give us a bunch of money.
So the last sentence of this article basically says, Stanley Media's 8-year fight has been wholly unsuccessful, with the U.S. Supreme Court just last month declining to take up its lawsuit against Lee. So, yeah, there you go. Go away, Stanley Media. You're drunk.
No, my favorite is the paragraph before where a judge called their claims simply implausible.
That's right, simply implausible. It's like vibranium. Oh,
there you go.
5 times fast. All right.
Say it 1 time slow.
Vibranium. How many times is that?
You're good. As a matter of fact, you have the last news story, so go for it.
Okay, I found this from a friend of mine who is both a geek/nerd, a fan of comics, and studying to be a copyrights and patents lawyer. Marvel Studios is being sued over the Iron Man movie design. This is not coming from Stanley Media. This is coming from 2 brothers, Ben and Ray Lai, who are claiming that Marvel has infringed on the design of their comics called Radix, R-A-D-I-X. I read this, I was looking at the timeline that was offered, and personally, I think this is completely without merit. People have been using power armor in comics forever.
Mm-hmm.
The Iron Man armor specifically had been starting to move towards more realistic power armor since about the mid-90s. And Adi Granov's design, which is the one that was used for the movie, and specifically, like, he was brought on as a consultant for the first one, was, it looks, I think, substantially different than the Radix comic. So we'll see. I mean, their whole thing is, hey, you brought us in to work for Marvel at around this time. And I don't know. We'll see. But I'm pretty sure that this is going to end up with it being dropped.
I agree. Because this stuff's been going on for decades. So yeah, I don't know if you can go back to it. So, oh well. Let's just get on to the creative stuff, right? And just have some fun. See some great Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. And maybe not see Batman versus Superman. Mm-hmm. That one was for you, Wing. And
Tim's fighting words.
Right.
You're trying to cause stuff.
I always do. Before we move on to the feedback, Haley mentioned it before. Gallifrey Public Radio went to Who Fest 2 in Dallas last weekend. Their episode 134 is online right now. You can go and get it. And you can hear all about how they had an incredible weekend in Dallas at the Who Fest. And anything specific you'd like to mention about that, Haley?
We didn't really specifically talk about this on the podcast, so I'll say it here. You know, we've talked about the big cons, how you wait in line for everything, and you sit in a room for a panel you don't want to see because you want to see the next one.
Right.
This little local con, the great thing is, I want to go to a con. All right, the next con I want to go to is in an hour. Okay, we've got an hour to kill. Let's go to the board game room. And Jay and I spent so much time in the board game room. I think we played 3 or 4 games of Red Dragon Inn. It was awesome.
This is why I love small cons. They're just, you have the opportunity to do stuff like that.
Right. I know there was a couple within a couple hour drive of me, smaller cons. There's actually a larger con near me too, but there was a couple smaller ones at some point in time. I'm going to have to check and see if they're available, because I would just like to show up and spend a few hours and have some fun and leave and not feel like I have to invest a whole ton of money and a whole bunch of time to spend the whole weekend just devoting myself to see what this con has to provide. I do like that. I think Naki kind of did that with C2E2 last weekend up in Chicago. She just went on Sunday and just had a good time, and that was it. So it was a bigger con, just did one day. I guess that's another way to do it. But smaller cons are great. I can't wait to experience them. All right. Just again, that's Gallifrey Public Radio, episode 134. You can find that at GonnaGeek.com or GallifreyPublicRadio.com. Woohoo! We're almost done, folks. We're going to get some feedback right now. And on Twitter, we had a lot of interaction on Twitter. Thank you guys very much. It is so fun talking back and forth with you. Just some examples of some of the stuff that we got. Andy Migna tweeted us, and he said, if you won't see at least one big-ass Hydra logo on that facility, I would demand a refund from Marvel. And yes, we did see lots of big-ass Marvel. Or Hydra.
Or big-ass Hydra symbols. Yeah, they are really aggressive about their branding.
If they're aggressive about one thing, it's their branding.
If they're aggressive about two things, it's vivisection and their branding.
And then it's been a while since we've heard from Christy on Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. At Adana Girl tweeted us, and she said, Baby Groot Hallmark ornament that plays I Want You Back. And
I need this.
I needs it.
I'm like, oh, I am so going to buy it.
I'm not even going to put it on the tree. I'm just going to have it out year round.
I don't even have a Christmas tree, but I need one.
I had to buy a special second Christmas tree for the house that is, no kidding, 9 feet tall, and it is about full of geek ornaments. This is going to be one of them. It's going to be great. Mr. Pericletes tweeted us, of course, as he always does, and he said, I found an article that seems to confirm whether or not Coulson is in Ultron. Would you like I share it with you or wait? And we had a little back and forth, and I want to say thank you very much for asking if we wanted to see it. And part of the back and forth I asked, is the title of the link, is the link title going to give away the answer? And he said yes. I said, no, I don't want to share it with our listeners that may not want to be spoiled. But if you want to know whether or not Coulson is in Ultron, you can find out. It's online. You can figure that out. He also tweeted us and he said, pretty funny Amazon exchange. I'm going to put this in the chat. It's also in the show notes. It is funny. It is some customer service.
Oh,
call
yeah, this one.
where the agent is Thor and the customer claims to be Odin. It is funny. You have to read it. It is great.
I love when people make the people's day a little brighter by doing stuff like this.
Right. And Richard at Kodiak GWC, he tweeted us with 3 different tweets with multiple different stories. I'm not going to get into it, but thank you very much, Richard. We appreciate everybody that tweets us or Facebook posts us with stories throughout the week. It's great. Sometimes our lives do get a little bit busy and it's difficult for us to fill out a news section. So thank you for participating in this with us. We really appreciate you guys. And a lot of the times you guys will send us stuff and all 3 of us get it. We're all on the Facebook page. We're all on the Twitter account and we get to see it and it's great. So thank you very much. So we have 3 voicemails this week. 3. Count them. Ha ha ha. 3. Adam in the chat, he sent this an email before. It is in the show notes, by the way, but in the chat, he gives the Sesame Street Avengers parody. And it is so funny. I watched it. It's great. So go check that out.
Sesame Street is just on fire lately. Between this and the Game of Thrones one, they're just, wow. Love them.
It is. It's great. So it is in the show notes already, Adam, and go check those out. It's also in the chat because Adam just put it in the chat. So anyway, Adam's first voicemail, or actually his only, but the first voicemail is Adam's.
Well, that didn't tie into Avengers quite the way I thought it would. I figured it would be a scene that was happening at more or less the same time, like the Captain America tie-in last year. That said, it was a pretty good episode. I was really surprised that Simmons was actually trying to kill Ward. I mean, don't completely blame her, but still a bit surprising that she went for it. That really awkward scene of the briefing was incredible, with everyone ganging up on Ward there. All the interactions in general were great. Yeah, still not really liking where things are going with Adama. I kind of figured that he wouldn't send in the airstrike and Coulson would have to call in the big backup, and that would be the tie-in with Avengers. Can't wait to hear what you guys think. Talk to you later. Bye.
Adam, I'm so glad you brought that up. Now, they did say that the base was pummeled and the jets actually were. We didn't see that. I didn't know if that was because they couldn't spend any more money on effects or because they were trying not to show us that it didn't happen and it didn't actually happen. So I don't know. What do you ladies think?
I think it was probably for budget and time reasons.
That's what I kind of figured, but I don't know. But it was a great episode, Adam. Thank you for the voicemail. And moving on, Mr. Pericletes sent us a voicemail and a follow-on tweet. So hold on. After the voicemail, we'll get your tweet in too.
Hey guys, Mr. Pericles here. Really enjoyed last night's episode. I think the best part was seeing Skye go through that one-shot action sequence where she really shows how much of an agent she is now. That was awesome to watch. I know I shouldn't like Ward a little bit at the end of this episode. I know that's bad, but I kind of do a little bit. I know he's evil, don't trust him, but I like him a little bit. I know I shouldn't, but maybe that's just the actor. Anyways, really looking forward to Age of Ultron. I got my ticket for tomorrow night. Hope you guys get to see it too soon. Great show, and can't wait to hear the next episode.
Thank you very much for actually giving us a voicemail. We see you all the time on Twitter, but actually hearing your voice is awesome. And that goes for anybody. The cutoff for the podcast is 8 o'clock Eastern for a voicemail to come in, but you guys can send in a voicemail at any time during the week. It doesn't have to be on Wednesday before 8 o'clock. It could be anytime. We'll just play it the next week. So go ahead, send your voicemails in. And Mr. Pericles, thank you very much. You ladies have anything to say to him?
I was just going to ask Lauren if she thinks, like I do, that Ward is at his hottest when he's wearing the scruff of malicious intent.
I got to agree. I got a thing for scruff.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have to remember that. Get the scruff going. Actually, I got the full beard going, so. It's a trim beard, though. Does that count?
Yes. Well-kept beards I like. My husband has a goatee, and I think it looks fantastic on him. But
the Duck Dynasty beard? No.
Those are not weird. I am not a fan of the competitive beard growing beards.
Yeah, no, that's about guys, not girls.
The unkempt beards, not a fan of those. But scruff is good.
Yes.
Okay. So the only reason I would grow my beard out that long is if I was being asked to play Santa Claus. So I would do it for the kids. But other than that...
Well, you could just get a fake beard.
Yours isn't gray enough anyway, so you'd have to wear a fake beard.
Yeah.
You haven't seen me lately, have you? All right. We have one more voicemail. Willie D. Nelson.
Hey, fan and friend of the show here, Willie D. Nelson. This episode was kind of quote-terrific. First you have some Sonic the Hedgehog reference, and then you even have a Candyman reference. Grant Ward, Grant Ward, Grant Ward. Poof. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. This was a fantastical episode. Got the old group back together. What an amazing spectacle. And you finally find out what the Theta Protocol was. Here comes the Avengers. I'll be there Friday night, and he'll listen to you guys Sunday. Willie D. Nelson out.
Thank you for calling, Willie, and have fun at the movie on Friday night.
And thank you for having seen Candyman, unlike some people who shall remain Haley.
It's on the list.
Well, it wasn't on the list until today because I didn't know it existed.
Okay, no, I really love the Candyman. Like Candyman 1 and 2, I really love. After that, but 1 and 2, I love.
Wait, is it a horror film?
Yes.
Oh, that's why I don't do horror films at all.
Nah.
I don't do horror films either, which is probably why I haven't seen it.
Oh, no, I love it so much. Hi, I'm a horror fan. I watch horror movies.
I saw Jeepers Creepers in high school, and I think that was the last one I saw.
I saw The Babadook a week ago, and I was like, oh, it wasn't that scary. But then I keep waking up in the middle of the night convinced that I hear it. But I keep watching them anyway.
I'm surprised you're a bigger Marvel fan than a DC fan, because DC is more dark and horror.
Marvel had nothing but monster comics all through the 70s.
Yeah, I really like Vertigo's, Sandman and Preacher and all that. But I don't know. Just, I've always liked Marvel's heroes better. I grew up with X-Men.
Okay. X-Men are always good. All right, that's it for the feedback this week. Thank you very much for everybody that gets back with us. We will, of course, be giving you feedback the next time we're here. And now it is time for us to say farewell. Woohoo! It was a shorter cast this week. Yay!
Yay! I can go watch Avengers now.
I know. I could go watch Arrow since we have to podcast on it on Friday. Well, thank you very much for your feedback. You can ask us your Science of Marvel questions. We haven't had one in a while, and I anticipate there being one or two with Avengers, so go ahead, get those to us. Also remember, Peggy Carter is awesome. We all three like to talk about it, so ask us any question. The biggest question is, are we going to get a season 2 right now? And
from what I heard, the word out of C2E2 is it's looking likely.
Yeah, every time I hear whether it's going to happen or not, like the percentage chance of it getting renewed has gone up. So
awesome.
I know.
So next time, it'll be Sunday afternoon. We're going to be talking Avengers Age of Ultron. If you're listening to this time delayed, then just wait for the next podcast to pop out. It will be Avengers Age of Ultron, and then we'll get to the next episode, the next one. So just a little spoiler warning. If you're listening to this, you have not seen Avengers Age of Ultron and the new cast is out, don't listen to it yet. Go see the movie and then listen to the podcast. So in the meantime, you can get a hold of us. We have a website, legendsofshield.com, a voicemail line, which we refuse to change. 844-THE-BUS-1, 844-843-2871, RIP 616. Facebook, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Actually, I found out an interesting thing. The way I had to do the YouTube channel is I had to do Legends of as one word and then S.H.I.E.L.D. as another word. So if you're searching for us, if you're searching for the channel and you want to subscribe, Legends of is one word and then S.H.I.E.L.D. is the other word as in a name. So it's, again, how I had to do that. So just search that way. You can get our YouTube channel and subscribe there. Forums.gunnygeek.com. Don't forget, we are on Mixcloud, Spreaker, SoundCloud. We're in a bunch of apps. If you have an app that you listen to podcasts on and we're not on it, send me an email, stargatepioneer@gunnygeek.com, and I will set up our feed to that app. All right. Thank you very much for everybody that's come on. Thank you to everybody who's listening on Mixlr and YouTube.
Thank you to everyone that sends in voicemails. That's the best way to send us feedback because it's an audio podcast and that's audio feedback, so we can include it and we get to hear you guys, which is awesome. So thank you guys.
And thank you to everyone who has gotten a hold of us on Twitter, whether it's through the live tweets, whether it's through your delayed live tweeting because of time zones, whether it's just through dropping us, a line throughout the week. We appreciate it and we love hearing from you.
And thanks for everybody that shows up every week for the live chat on Chatwing. You can get to it at gunnageek.com/live or just gunnageek.com. There's a banner that says we're broadcasting live now, and you can get there. I try to get that up a little bit before 8 o'clock so you can get in the chat and be ready to talk to us. It's so fun. A lot more people are showing up every week. You can have part of the fun too by showing up. So until this weekend, I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
And I'm Agent Lauren.
Bye. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening. If you want to leave us feedback, go to gunnageek.com and you'll find all of our contact information and other shows. You can also visit legendsofshield.com where you'll find our complete archive of podcasts. The music heard on this podcast is by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com. The opinions heard on this podcast are those of the individual host and do not represent Legends, Stream, or Gonna Geek. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the property of the Disney Corporation. No infringement is intended.
James Gunn.
Oh, genius.
Genius?
Yeah.
Why genius?
I just think what he did it's my favorite Marvel film, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in it. I think that there's just such a strong sense of identity, and it's so funny. Best soundtrack. He's so clever.
What do you think about haircuts?
Haircuts?
Like really serious haircuts.
I'm tongue-tied. No. I think that I'm bald. I think they're bald.
So what was that experience like when the hair went away?
It was really funny initially. I was like, ha ha ha, I'm completely bald. And then my family were having a field day. They were like, you look like a yob. And then it sort of sunk in the next morning when I woke up and I was like, oh, there's no hair on my pillow. And it was kind of a weird sensation. I felt like it was all delicate, so I couldn't touch it for a good 24 hours. And then I got used to it, and then it was great because the maintenance was really easy. And it was just, it was easy in the mornings.
But were there unexpected complications from it at all? I mean, in terms of having the shaved head and
complications.
So a couple of stubble or
people told me it was going to be itchy, which it wasn't. I just liked it because when you walk out of the shower, you're immediately dry. I really recommend it, everyone.
So, you ready to go on? Nebula.
Oh, angry.
Angry, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what did you tap into in terms of anger for that? I mean,
I don't have any siblings, but I tried to imagine what it's like if you're always the sibling that's not as good as your sister. The one that doesn't have hair. The one that's not as good at killing people. Even though I don't technically think that's true. So I don't know, I think that can fuel a lot of jealousy and envy and bitterness. So that's where that comes from, I think.
I'm wondering, what's your favorite deleted scene or blooper?
What's my favorite scene?
Deleted scene.
Deleted scene? On Doctor Who? Oh, what's been deleted? I actually don't know. I'm not sure that much gets deleted on Doctor Who. I know that on Guardians there's a really cool deleted scene between Nebula and Gamora where we're sort of like fighting with each other and talking about our upbringing, and that did not make the final cut of the film, but is probably on the DVD. So there we are.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, so we had Employee Appreciation Cookout this week.
Yeah?
On Monday night.
Fun.
I'm almost positive it made me sick. And I was like, yep, that sounds about right.
That's where you work.
I feel the appreciation. I don't know if you've heard I guess it's probably the latest Crimson that's out, but I've named you the Gonna Geek Pimp.
That was a couple weeks ago, yeah.
Wing is the Gonna Geek whore.
Yeah.
You're the Gonna Geek Pimp.
Now, okay, why did I get that in particular?
You're constantly shilling.
Shilling what?
Everything.
Like a villain.
Gonna Geek. Shilling Gonna Geek.
Yeah,
You're out
trying
there,
to.
getting the word out.